I'm Arne Meyer. I'm the Director of Communications at Naughty Dog.
I'm Scott Hanau. I was a music supervisor on Uncharted 4.
I basically run the internal communications department at the studio, so we're responsible for all of the public relations and marketing with our publisher, PlayStation, but also probably one of the most rewarding parts of our job is working directly with our fans through social media, but also going to events and sometimes even bringing them into the studio.
Day to day, working really closely with the game's director, Neil Druckmann, on the narrative, the game's composer, Henry Jackman, on compositional tasks, all of the mixing and editing and implementation work that goes into how music gets in the game, and as well as publishing the soundtracks on digital and vinyl now too, which is really cool to say. My first job in games, I started as an intern at PlayStation about 11 years ago, working on the game SOCOM Combined Assault and Fireteam Bravo 2, doing some implementation and a lot of asset tracking and organizational tasks and testing, and just kind of progressed year after year. Was very lucky to start working with Naughty Dog on the first Uncharted game. And so we've maintained that relationship for about 10 years now, which has been fantastic.
I think for us, Uncharted Drake's Fortune was a really pivotal game to work on. We were starting to work on a new platform, PlayStation 3. We only previously worked on cartoony platformers. We'd dabbled a little bit with narrative, but now we had a console that we could really build characters that looked like people, build worlds that were grounded in reality. So we were trying to play around with how do we make more realistic worlds, more realistic characters, but yet keep it just fictional enough so that you're not getting to this uncanny valley bit. If you look at the set of games from Uncharted Drake's Fortune to Uncharted 3, we were playing with different types of environments, and so the first game we tackled was really about foliage because that was something that would push our technology. The second game was about snow, third game's about sand, so we're really sort of looking at it. Although I say foliage for Uncharted Drake's Fortune, but the one thing that everyone remembers is the water tech from Drake's Fortune. But basically it was giving us an opportunity each game to try a different way to innovate with our technology.
Working through all four games, it's really become more and more about these characters that we know and love too, and so it's been a really interesting shift to almost take the big action set pieces and make them a backdrop to this more character-centered drama.
Our studio's always been built on this feeling that we're a very collaborative studio and very open, and that translates over into how we work with the music department and with the composer. It was something that I don't think a lot of games were really playing around with at the beginning, to have music to the level that we did in Uncharted Drake's Fortune, to the point where you had iconic piece of music like Nick's theme that really comes from a rich film history, where you think of some films and they do have a character-centric theme into it, and we have one for a game. This was a really long project, yeah. I mean, I think we started pre-production and started playing around with it about 5 years before it came out. So basically right at the end of Uncharted 3 release, we had released The Last of Us in between that, but we still had a team looking at it and starting to explore ideas for it.
We started very early. There was several trailers right up front that we worked on, and the way we've kind of shifted working a little bit is to have a bit of music written up front that then helps inform the creative directors as they're writing scenes. They get to, hear bits of the score up front and, really talk about some of the points that resonate with them. So we really now try to get involved as soon as possible on any title.
Any music has an emotional resonance for people, and to have these pieces come in as you're starting to work hard on the game and you don't really know where the game's going yet, and maybe you're not feeling supremely confident in what you're working on, to hear these pieces that have a lot of feeling behind them have been really motivating for the team. The advice that I would provide for anyone, regardless of what discipline is find ways to produce work. And there's so many opportunities to do that these days, whether it's at a school as part of development teams, whether it's indie development as well, or just doing it on your own. Like, just keep producing, because there's so many avenues into the industry, but they come with a prerequisite of experience and being able to show that you've been working on something, and you can only do that by keep working on things and sort of honing your skills and honing your craft.
Learn something new every single day. There's a wide variety of resources out there that are absolutely free, whether it be YouTube, the Wise or FMod websites and music technology. Any of your favorite artists probably have videos on there on how they have done some of their production techniques. We're just constantly spending time trying to get better at our craft every single day, because there's really no limit to that. And if you're really passionate and really have a drive to go and do something, you'll break into the industry somewhere. It's only a matter of time.